Hey YouTube, it's Jack again with Toy Dojo, and today we're taking a look at the Takara Tomy MP11NT Masterpiece Thrust. Here he is in front of us. You can see his box. It's just like any other Masterpiece box we've seen. Thrust there is in his nice cartoon colors, not his toy colors. His toy colors were black and maroon throughout, and this one is more of the dark gray and maroon and some blacks into it, which is very indicative of the cartoon instead of the toy. So I'm going to take a look at him. Just real quick, he comes with his instruction booklet here, and then of course the little bio card that we've been getting with all of the MPs. So there's that, and that's that. Box, again, like I said, just a regular Masterpiece box. It says Masterpiece Transformers there on the side, or Transformers Masterpiece. Now on the back it shows thrust, a lot of Japanese writing there, thrust again, thrust, 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 and then everything that's included with thrust down here at the bottom. So let's pull that off to the side there and see thrust sitting in the wing back there. Well, not really the wing, but the back there. It would be the wing if he was off to the side, but he's not. He's right there in front, so that didn't really make any sense. So anyways, let me get this. There we go. And let's get him closer. Alright, so his accessories. We saw that the instruction booklet was there. And he comes with the little clear pilot. Let's get that focus. There we go. This is the clear pilot instead of the other ones were colorful. I have Masterpiece. Oh man. Ramjet. I lost train of thought for a second. I have Masterpiece Ramjet, but I left him in the box because I have the Igear's version that was open. I had gotten a lot a few years back. So I never opened my Ramjet. But I know there are some similarities between the Ramjet and then the Thrust figure here. So we'll talk about those. But the Ramjet one came with a more of a, I guess kind of like a smoke color guy, where this one is just a clear one. So there's that. And then he comes with these two missiles, I guess, if you will, that go onto him. And you can put these on, obviously, in his robot mode and his jet mode. His robot mode, they're going to hide behind the wings back here. And in jet mode, well, they go onto the wings. So we'll talk about those here in a minute, too. Okay, Thrust. Here he is. And let me get this more. There we go. That looks better. So here's Thrust. And he's really good looking. I like the colors. I know a lot of collectors don't care for the gray on him. But if you're a cartoon fan, I mean, that's where, you know, like me, you like these colors better than the black. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the black works well. Just all black and maroon looks really good. But these grays work really well, too. And so let me fix his wings out just so we can see that. So there are his wings. You see he's got Decepticon logos here, and they're hiding. He's got these foldable null rays, which at first I wasn't sure what they were for. But now I know. See, they collapse. Let me pop one off here. So the null rays, unlike the other one, these null rays here actually, let me see, I think he's taking my focus off of that. Okay, there we go. So these null rays here, they actually collapse like this. So at first I was like, why do these collapse? That's so weird. And then I went back and I was looking at the cartoon version of him, and I noticed that in the cartoon version, when he's in his plane mode, all you see is these here. You don't see his null rays, but you see his null rays when he's in his robot mode. So it got me thinking, oh, okay, I get it. So when he's in his plane mode, you can collapse these and hide these away for the aesthetic look of it, and then just have these showing. So I thought that was really neat. It's kind of like the way on Masterpiece Ramjet, the bombers, if you will, went over these here and masked them in that way. So instead with these, since these are smaller, these will just fold away. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, let's get back to him. Put this on there. Alright, so there he is. And I think the face looks really good. I think they did a good job. He kind of has that smirk, or kind of like that little growl of like, what are you looking at, punk? Like that kind of a face to him. So I think that looks really good. And then the eyes too, they're a nice, looks like a goldish yellow color on his eyes. There we go. Kind of like a goldish yellow. Almost matches the gold up here, so it's actually the same color. These eyes and that right there, same color. So that's like a gold. Looks good. Now, I do have some gripes about Thrust, the Masterpiece Thrust figure. The one is, if you can see how, and you can hear how wobbly that is. And so I was looking at that, and I thought, when I first pulled it out of the box, I was like, man, this thing is wobbly. And it's right here at the waist, so the top and the bottom portions are wobbly. And I thought, oh, he has a waist articulation. I'm like, no, he doesn't. A little bit, I guess, if you want it, but the thing is, it's because, and I'll show it when I'm starting to transform him, but the piece that holds the top section, the bottom section together, wasn't plugged in all the way, I think, and that's why he's real loose up here. And I was seeing another video, and another collector had that same issue with it. He didn't really mention that being this piece here, but he mentioned it being wobbly. And so, like I said, I think that's the reason why. And we'll look at that whenever we start transforming him. So, but all in all, I think he's done really well. I like the colors on him. The purples and the reds are done well down there. And just all around looking nice. Me personally, I did have a problem with this here and why that sits. When we look at our old Seekers, and we'll pull in Hasbro Starscream, this will supposed to sit up here like this, and then this hides away and it plugs in. But see, you can't do that here, and it's the same way on Ramjet. He can't. This won't sit there, so that's got to come all the way down and then go down, which in essence brings that down further than it would be on the other ones. So it just, to me, doesn't look that good. I think it looked better on the other ones. And the Seeker mold itself, because they obviously all share the same mold, there's just a lot of upgrades onto this, or a lot of, I say upgrades, but just different molds added onto it, like the wings, and then obviously the cone head and stuff like that. But I never thought this was a super strong mold to begin with, in my opinion. I always thought it was weaker because a lot of them, sometimes they would have a hard time to stand up. Now these, they stand better because you got these two sections out here. Now the very first Seeker mold that came out didn't have this back portion here. It only had these two. And so he would always flop over. And we'll see when I pull in my Skywarp, because my Skywarp is the old Walmart version that came out way back in 2006, I think it was. Excuse me, 2006, I believe it was. So, but you know, just like any Seeker mold, we'll go through the articulation. He's got the same head rotation here. He can look up, he can look down a lot. And that's because of the transformation there, but he can do that. These here also move forward if you want more of that look instead of them being straight up. So you got that option there. Shoulders, rotate. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the hand rotation there. Same hands that he has on all the other Seekers. You got that same. These three are connected. This one's by itself, and then the thumb is on its own ball joint there. So you got that there. On the null rays, again, we got that same new style that we had with the newer version of this mold. So there's that. The wings themselves, they slide up and down. That's made for transformation. So that'll be whenever it's in plane mode, they'll be down like that. When he's in robot mode, these will slide up like that. So, and then you can fold them back like that if you want to, or you can have them out to the side like that. Your choice. This too, that's gonna be for transformation. But so you got different options how you want to pose them. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, it's a basic Seeker mold. So these here do spin, and they spin very well. So we see that they spin very, very well, and that's cool. I like that feature. So. We're going to go ahead and start transforming him, and then like I said, I'll just kind of point out why I think this sits the way this does right here, and why they could have done it the old way, and then also point out this section here, which is what's the issue. So actually, let's talk about that first. Let's pull this up out of the way. So when we do this, I'm going to zoom in there a little bit. So that pin, that's what I'm talking about, that's right there. That right there. So what that does is that's what keeps the top section and the bottom section together. But if we look at that, when I start to move it, you can see just how loose that is. And so they just didn't pin it enough, I guess. And so I don't know if that's something that maybe I can do if I try to push down on it. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll try it. But then again, I don't want to risk breaking it. So it's that pin right there is what causes the issue. I'm gonna bring in the older guys. That's what I wanted to do before I transform him. Let's get this head back up. There we go. So there he is, and I'm gonna bring in. Mine is the Starscream from the Hasbro line. So the Hasbro Masterpiece Starscream, And let's just pull him in right there. See how they look together. The one thing I wish that these guys still came with, I don't think Ramjet came with it because I just don't remember seeing it on the box when I was looking at my box. But the one thing that these guys would always come with was that display stand. And I like that display stand because it was cool because you can situate them, you know, up in the air like flying or just kind of hovering in the air in their robot mode. So I wish these guys would have came with it. It would have been neat to have, you know, one that said thrust on it, one that said ramjet, but they don't have that. So that to me was kind of a letdown, in my opinion. Here is the old mold here, and this one is, there we go, my Skywarp, and that's the Walmart one that came out back in the day. So we can just kind of look at how well they've come along since the days of these. And this one wasn't a bad mold. I remember when it first came out, I was like, wow, that really looks cool. But then as time went on and we saw this mold, it was like, yeah, this is pretty ugly right here. You know, having this hang off to the side right there. So, but not a whole lot has changed from that mold, really, if we think about it. I mean, the hands are still the same. They took these pieces off right here on the new Seeker mold. He obviously doesn't have them at all. But this mold here, we can see where that plugs in like that. Like I said, this one plugs in like that. And then you get to this one, and this is the same way with Ramjet, is that doesn't plug in. So it kind of sits lower right there. And you can see where he leans back because of that issue. So I think they could have done that. They could have fixed it. And I'll tell you what I think about it. So there he is. And then let's pull these guys off to the side. And I'm going to bring in the Igear's Ramjet that I have. And this one was really fiddly. I got this one in a trade years back. And so I thought they did a good job. Obviously that one they just basically copied the Seeker mold and then turned it into Ramjet. But if we look at he's a cone head. They were able to do that same thing back here on the back. They were able to keep that same, let's get this stuff out of the way here. They were able to keep that same thing there where they go ahead and they plug this in so it sits higher up. So it's not as noticeable, you know, in the front. So they were able to do it with them. I don't understand why they couldn't do it with him and the official Ramjet. So let's get that out of the way. All right, now let's go into transformation. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start just here at the top. And you guys, have you seen this before? I mean, if you have Seekers, obviously we've seen this before. It's no big secret as to how these guys transform. So it's just a matter of getting through the process. So let's start that up. So I'm going to try not to talk through it all. I'll talk just to talk, but I mean, I'm not going to explain everything because you guys know obviously how this goes. So now as we pull through though, I'm going to show why I believe this mold is different in terms of why they didn't have that piece sit further back or further up. So when we look at this here, let me pull in Starscream here. And if you guys know the reason why, and it's nothing new to you, it's new to me because, like I said, I didn't mess with the Ramjet mold. So to me, it was something new that I figured out. I was like, why did it have to look like that? And so now I figured it out. And so, like I said, if you know this, well then you're probably like, yeah, Jack, be quiet. I already know what's the reasoning for that. So okay, let's look at this. So on this one here, in order to get this up on this Seeker mold, you got to pop this out, and then that comes up, and then well, let's get that. That comes up, and then that closes away like this, right? So the secret here is though that is able to push in, thus shortening this here. Okay, on this mold, that won't push in. It won't push in because that's one solid piece right back there in the back. Right here, we can see it's one solid piece. Whereas on this Seeker mold here, it actually has some openings. Let me open this so we can get a better, clearer look at it. We'll look at it through the top, actually, it's better. But you can see right here, he's got that opening, and then this actually is that bar. So it's got a sliding mechanism that allows it to slide in and out like that. And so you can see there, that sliding mechanism that's right inside there, that allows it to do that. So on this one, they didn't give you that option. They have it filled up, obviously with the back of this, here we go, the back of the cockpit right there. So that's filled in. I think they could have done away with this here and just gave you that same option. That way it could have done that. Why they chose to go this way, I don't know if it's because they wanted it better detailed. I have no idea, but I think they could have just got rid of that there and done that same thing, in my opinion. But so anyways, that's the reasoning for that and why it can't do that. So, all right, let's go ahead and go. Let's just finish transforming him. Get that there. Do that there. Pick this up out of the way. Pull these guys down. Pull that one down right there. Close that up. Come on. There we go. And let's get these arms done too. Come on. And I don't feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel like this one's as sturdy as the other secret mold. Like that Starscream mold feels a lot sturdier than this one does here. Not just in this section right here. Not just because of that. Oh, zoomed in too far. Not just because of this. But just in general, I just don't feel like this one is as sturdy. I think it's, you know, I don't know if it's because of the mold and they've used it so much or what it is, but I just don't think this one is as good a quality. And like I said, I didn't mess with the other mold of this, the ramjet one. So if you've messed with it, let me know what you think. Do you think that that's not as sturdy as the original secret molds? Because I just don't think it is. In my opinion, this one is. I still like him, obviously, because, I mean, we need these cone heads to fill in our missing seekers. And so when they finally release Dirge, I'll pick him up as well. And I may just end up getting rid of that Igear's one and opening up my Masterpiece one, because the Igear's one is so horrible. And again, I don't know if it's because I got it, you know, I got it in a trade and the person who had it before me didn't take care of it. That may be the reason why, but I just didn't care for it so much. When I first got it, I was like, oh, it's cool. But then as I started messing with it, I was like, man, this guy is really horrible. So, let's get that in there. Come on. I'm just kind of rushing through this, so. Alright, let's push these in. Push those in right there. Lock this together. Flip these around, flip them up. Flip them around, flip them up. Come to the back here. Open up these. Down, down, close that up. There we go. Get these out of the way for now. And slide this stuff up. There we go. And then just fold all this forward. And the one thing I guess with the ramjet mold that a lot of people had issues with was the shoulder issue. And so I was lucky to get I guess the second version that was released that they fixed the shoulder issue. So when I open mine, I'm not going to have any issue with it. Okay. And do that and do that. Alright, so there he is. And again, so like normal, these would sit on here like this, like a normal secret mold. But like I said, since in the cartoon, you're not supposed to see these null rays, which you kind of can here. Come on, get everything situated right. They give you the option to fold these away, and so that way they hide away like that, and this one will hide away as well. Come on, there we go. And that way they kind of hide away, and so that way you can take the little bombers here, and these will go underneath right here. And that's going to be more of the look of the cartoon there. So, your preference. You can have them however you want to. Oh, I know it keeps popping out. Get down there. There we go. Okay. So anyways, that's more of the cartoon look right there. With these here sticking out, and then not seeing the null rays there. But like I said, if you want to, you can just unfold these null rays and have them sticking out, and then have it however you want, give them more firepower. But I think that's the reason why they went for that, is just more of the clean cartoon look. And it's a nice looking thrust mold. I do like that. Yeah, it looks really good. It reminds me of him in the cartoon. Seeing these things here, that's really neat. And so on the bottom here, obviously he's got landing gear like the other ones, so you just pop those out like that. And then these are inside here. Just pull those down, pop them out, pull those down. And there he is, just like that. So really nice looking mold. I think they did a great job on just recreating that same mold, but giving us a thrust out of it. Again, like I said, this whole centerpiece here is just the same mold that we've seen before, with the exception of the way the head here folds up, and but the way the arms hide away and everything down here, this is all what we've seen before. Just these guys obviously had bigger knee joints here, or knee areas, knee pads, if you will, than the others did. But it's a nice looking mold. They did a great job at it. So I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can order this from. Now, I believe Toy Dojo has them out of stock, but we'll get some more in stock. So I'll put a link in the description below anyways. Just keep checking back with them. And let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to know if you do have this thrust figure, this Masterpiece Thrust, is yours experience the same issue with the waist joint that I pointed out earlier, to where the top and the bottom are just flimsy? And then if you have the ramjet mold, is it the same right here as the reason why this doesn't sit the way the other Seekers sit? So again, let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, stay safe.